Today we're going to look at how to use Zotero inside of your Word program to add citations and even how to add your bibliography. So first, just let's go back to Zotero and check. So in Zotero, I have already downloaded the information, the citations that I want. So I'm going to be using LAN. And I'm going to be using the National Center for Education for my examples. They're just made up examples. I mean, these are actual sources, but they're made up examples. Let's take a look in my Word document. So here's a Word document. Only 16% of learners found this software to be useful. Now that information came from LAN. So what I'm going to do is up on my top, I have the Zotero link. Now, if you don't have the Zotero link, I made another video on how to add that into your Word, but I already have it, so I'll press Zotero, and then I want to add citation. Now, this is the first time I'm using it for this source, so it's going to come up and ask me which citation style I want to use. And I want to use APA 7. So I'm going to press that, and then I'm going to press OK. Now notice it knows that I want to put the citation there. There's where I had the cursor. And I'm just going to press LAN. Now different ones come up. I want LAN, L-A-N. So I'm going to go down there and pick that one. And boom, it puts it in the way it should be for APA format. So I have the person's last name and the year. Now, sometimes we use the person's last name in our writing. When that's the case, we don't have to write the name again. What I do is right after this, I put my cursor and then I go back into citation. And then I'm going to press LAN again, and it's going to come up first. Now, I don't want it that way, right? So what I'm going to do is, up here, I am going to left click, and I'm going to press omit author. And then I go back up there and do that and press enter. And now I have the author's name and the year. Now it's important to do this though, because now Zotero remembers that you have LAM as a citation. If you just put the year in yourself, Zotero isn't going to know that that's a citation in your paper, and it won't add it to the bibliography later. I have two pieces of information from the Center of Education. Same way, National Center for Education Statistics, that's what I want. I'll put that down and press enter, and I got it. Or here, the National Education Center for Education Statistics should be, right? Let's make this. Right after that, I'm going to put my cursor, and then I am going to put. Now this is an example, of course, if you don't have the author's name, but you have the title of the website. So I'm going to left click, and I'm going to press omit author. And then I'm going to go back up here and press enter, and boom, there it is. Now all of these, by the way, period at the end, right? I'm very bad with adding periods. One last thing. Let's say you're adding a direct quote, as you do here. This is also from LAN. Now, I'm using a direct quote. When we use a direct quote in APA style format, we have to add more information. Not only do we have to have the author's name and the year. So once again, I'll pick LAN and the year. That's in there. Not only do I need that, I'm going to left click, and then I want to add the page number. So there where it says page, I just add the page number that information was found on, and that would be page 23 as an example. And all of that information will be down there. Now, because this is part of the rest of the quote, I don't put a period inside of here. I put the period outside there. Let's say that this came from a website or one-page document. What I could do is left click on that again. Maybe it wasn't a page. I could also go by paragraph or many other things here, chapters, whatever. But if you don't have a page and you have just one page, you usually go by paragraph numbers. And let's say it was paragraph 6. And then that'll add that information for you. And I go and I press enter, and there we go. Now, when you're all done with the paper, you're going to include a bibliography. So I'm going to write, and for APA, we don't call it a bibliography, we call it works cited. Now, in APA, this would be a separate page, of course, but this is just so that you can see how I add it in. What I'm going to do, I have works cited. Now, any work that I used here is going to show up in my bibliography, and I press bibliography. It wrote the bibliography the way it needs to be written for APA style format. Notice in APA format, the title is what we call sentence case, where the first is capitalized and then the other ones, learning in a virtual environment. All of those are lowercase. That's different from MLA, where everything is capitalized. But here in APA style, only the first letter and, of course, acronyms are capitalized. And that's it.